Hey, what's up, geeks? Darron here. Now, in this video, I'm going to let you know how do you know you're working for a bad software developer technical team. This topic is close to my heart because I've definitely experienced this throughout my career, and I think that anybody could benefit from this. Now, before I get into it, there's a link in the description below if you're interested in learning React Native. There's also a link to the Facebook group where we can network as React Native developers, share our React Native issues, and then also help people get hired. So definitely check out both of those links. Now, I want to let you know, how do you know that you're working for a bad technical team? There's many different ways to figure that out, but the very first one is if there is a non-technical team above you, meaning like the project managers and the managers above them, if they have technical backgrounds. For my first position as a software developer, nobody had a technical background above me, and nobody had a background in the tools that I was using, anything even remotely close. There was no JavaScript developer. So because of that, a lot of times when you have upper management that don't have a technical background, they just want what they want when they want it. And as somebody that's like new to the game, it really it stressed me out a little bit. It really stressed me out, but it was tough because I had to wear many different hats. Like I said in previous videos, I was responsible for designing the application, developing the application, deploying the application. I was a point of contact. I managed 2 engineers in India, and I had to attend all these meetings. And within those meetings, I had to be comfortable and confident enough to shut down upper management when they asked for features that we just could not build in the time frame that they wanted us to build it. And that's one of the things problems that you run into when you have a managing team that doesn't have a technical background, because you're going to plan for a sprint, and then you're going to realize that sprint planning doesn't even work because more tickets are going to be created, more features are going to be created, and then they're not going to want to handle things in a more sophisticated flow. They're going to want what they want, and it's going to be your job to get it done. And you would already know as a developer that there's no way that I can do this and then also do the other things that they ask me to do. So that's one way to actually figure out if you are the bad technical team. Now, the next way to really figure that out as well is that you need to see the Scrum processes. I have not worked for one team that's using the waterfall method. Most teams are using the agile method right now. They're implementing Scrum in their projects. And just because you're using Scrum doesn't mean you're working for a good company. Sometimes people might have Scrum on the surface, but they're not doing anything. There's no sprint planning. There's no point planning, meaning taking a bunch of tickets and going over those tickets and discussing how long it should take to do those tickets. And then also, you're with a bad team is if you're working on, like sometimes you'll have teams working on multiple tickets at once. From what I've found is that when each developer works on one ticket, and then that ticket gets finished, and before you move to the next one, that's the best way to go. Because there's moments where you'll have 4 tickets in the PR, and because there's 4 tickets, there's no sense of urgency to review those tickets. So then you have 4 developers of 4 different tickets, and then people are merging things in. There's merge conflicts. There's just a bunch of issues. The best way to actually speed up software development, and then to ensure that all developers are handling their tickets in the right time, there's not going to be as many bugs in the application, is to have a slower process. Because on the front end, it's going to look slower, but because you know that you can't move on to the next ticket before you finish the last one, everybody is going to do their best to make sure that ticket is on point and is merged in as soon as possible. Now, the last and final way you know that you're working for a good software development company is if you want to make sure that the team is tight. You don't have to be best friends, but everybody you want to be heard and respected. I've worked for teams where it was just like one guy that ruled all. Whether he knew what he was talking about or not, because the person worked there for some amount of time, he always had the first say. And then this person wasn't even working in my tech stack, and it's the same for other developers. It was kind of like nobody else really had a word. It was what that developer wanted. And when you run into those issues, man, it's hard to change that. Most cases you won't be able to change it, and it's time to find another job. Yeah, man. I'm just, as I'm talking about it, I'm thinking about my own personal stuff. And I've definitely left companies for that reason. You know, I'll tell companies when they ask me what's the reason I want to get hired. I said the main reason I want to get hired is that I want to work with people that I enjoy working with. I mean, I want to get paid, but the most important thing is enjoying the people I work with, because the work that we're going to do is hard enough. So if I have to come to work and deal with shitty people, I'm not really interested. And I mean that. I mean, I honestly mean that. I could be with a company for a year, 2 years, whatever, and I would leave if I feel like I'm not being respected, I'm not being heard. I feel like somebody's talking to me in a condescending way. There's no reason for me to be here. But anyways, those are the reasons that is how you know when you're working for a bad technical team. If there's anything that I missed out, please list it in the description below. I think that this is something that could benefit anybody, because this is real life. And if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. And if you're interested in learning React Native, check out the links in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.